What we previously saw as obstacles become doorways to greater understanding. One of the greatest paradoxes on the spiritual path is learning to transcend the physical world while remaining fully engaged within it. The ultimate liberation comes not from changing anything about your experience, but from recognizing that you are the unchanging awareness in which all experiences arise. Reality as we know it is both more and less than what meets the eye. The world we experience through our physical senses, the one we've been taught to believe is solid, unchangeable, and absolute, is in fact a sophisticated illusion, a construct that many ancient wisdom traditions and modern spiritual teachers refer to as the Matrix. This Matrix isn't meant to trap or confine us. Rather, it serves as an elaborate stage for our spiritual evolution and expansion. To understand the Matrix, imagine watching a movie in a theater. The images on the screen appear real, evoke genuine emotion, and can completely captivate our attention. Yet we know that behind these images lies a projector casting light through film to create what we see. Similarly, our physical reality is a projection of consciousness, a magnificent play of light and energy forming what we perceive as solid matter, linear time, and separate identities. Yet beyond this illusion lies our true nature as expressions of source energy. We are not merely physical beings having occasional spiritual experiences. We are infinite, eternal consciousness temporarily focusing our attention within physical form. Like waves rising from an infinite ocean, we are individualized expressions of the universal consciousness that underlies all existence. Each of us contains within ourselves the full potential of source energy, even when we momentarily forget this truth while immersed in the Matrix. This brings me to one of the most fascinating aspects of our existence: your dual role as both creator and experiencer. In every moment, you are simultaneously writing the script of reality and acting it out. When you manifest desires, whether they be material objects, relationships, or states of being, you are engaging in this dual dance. You create the possibility in consciousness first, then step into the experience of it manifesting in our physical reality. This process isn't separate from us. It is us, source energy, flowing into new forms of expression. The purpose of physical existence within this matrix isn't to escape it entirely, but to use it as a catalyst for expansion and growth. Every challenge we face, every desire we pursue, and every relationship we engage in serves to help us know ourselves more fully as source energy. The physical realm provides a unique environment where infinite potential can be explored through finite experiences, where the abstract can become concrete, and where the formless can take form. As we begin to awaken to these deeper truths, we often experience a profound shift in perspective. What once seemed like immovable limitations reveal themselves as opportunities for growth. What we previously saw as obstacles become doorways to greater understanding. The matrix, rather than being a prison to escape from, becomes a creative canvas upon which we can paint our deepest truths and highest aspirations. I want you to do me a favor and take a moment to gaze into a mirror. The reflection that you see represents just the tiniest fraction of who you truly are. Beyond the physical form, beyond the thoughts that flow through your mind, beyond even your most profound emotions, lies an infinite expanse of consciousness, your true nature as source energy. This isn't merely poetic metaphor, it's the fundamental truth of your existence. Understanding your relationship with source energy begins with a radical shift in perspective. Instead of seeing yourself as a physical being reaching for connection with the divine, recognize that you are divine consciousness, choosing to experience itself through physical form. Like a sunbeam is not separate from the sun, your individual consciousness is not truly separate from source energy. It is source energy, focused into a unique point of awareness. This individualized focus creates what appears to be separation, but this too is part of the magnificent design. Just as a prism breaks white light into a spectrum of colors, the matrix of physical reality seems to divide unified consciousness into billions of individual perspectives. Each perspective, each life, offers source energy, a unique way to know itself, to experience itself, to expand itself through the endless possibilities of existence. The illusion of separation serves a profound purpose in our spiritual evolution. It allows us to experience the joy of remembering who we are, the thrill of rediscovering our infinite nature through finite experiences. Think of it like an actor becoming so immersed in a role that they temporarily forget they're acting. This complete immersion allows for the fullest possible experience. Similarly, your temporary forgetting of your true nature enables you to fully embrace the human experience while gradually awakening to your broader identity. Yet this illusion, however useful, eventually begins to dissolve as we evolve spiritually. We start to recognize the artificial boundaries we've accepted as real. The solid walls between me and other, between inner and outer, between physical and spiritual begin to appear more permeable. We catch glimpses of our larger identity in moments of deep meditation, in experiences of synchronicity, in feelings of profound connection with others or nature. The principle of eternal expansion lies at the heart of existence. Just as the universe continues to expand physically, consciousness continuously expands through experience. Every moment offers a new opportunity for source energy, through you to know itself in a new way. This isn't about accumulating knowledge in the conventional sense. It's about expanding awareness through direct experience. Each challenge you face, each joy you embrace, each relationship you engage in becomes an avenue for source energy to explore new aspects of its infinite potential. The endless expansion isn't something you need to force or strive for. It's your natural state. Like a flower naturally turns toward the sun, your consciousness naturally seeks growth and expansion. The key is removing the barriers we've placed in our own way, the limiting beliefs and assumptions that keep us confined within a smaller version of ourselves. Reconnecting with your infinite nature doesn't require adding anything to who you are. Instead, it involves releasing what you are not. It's about letting go of the constraints, beliefs, and identifications that mask your true nature. This process isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering what you've always been. Begin by questioning everything you've assumed about yourself. Are you really limited to your physical body? Are your thoughts really yours? Or are they patterns moving through the field of your awareness? Is your awareness itself confined to your personal experience, or does it extend far beyond what you've imagined? As you explore these questions, you'll likely notice moments where your sense of self expands beyond its usual boundaries. Perhaps while watching a sunset, your consciousness seems to merge with the splendor before you. Or during a deep meditation, the boundary between inner and outer dissolves entirely. These aren't anomalies. They're glimpses of your true nature breaking through the illusion of separation. The path of reconnection involves both recognition and integration. Recognition occurs in those moments of clarity when we perceive our true nature directly. Integration happens as we begin to live from this expanded awareness, allowing it to inform our daily choices and interactions. Your true nature as source energy isn't something distant or separate from your everyday experience. It's the very essence of who you are in every moment. The physical form you inhabit, the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel are all expressions of this fundamental truth. They are ways that source energy experiences itself through you. As you move through your day, practice remembering this larger identity. When you encounter another person, recognize them as another expression of the same source energy that you are. When you face challenges, see them as opportunities for source energy to know itself in new ways through your experience. When you feel joy or love, know that you are experiencing source energy, recognizing itself through these emotions. Remember, you haven't lost your connection to source energy. You can't, any more than a wave can lose its connection to the ocean. What you're doing now is simply awakening to what has always been true, allowing yourself to experience the fullness of who you are beyond the matrix of separation and limitation. The term matrix often evokes images of sinister system designed to trap consciousness in an artificial reality. While this metaphor can be useful, it misses profound truths. The matrix is not our enemy. Rather, it is an intricate and purposeful construct of consciousness itself, a divine playground created for our spiritual evolution. Think of it as the most sophisticated virtual reality system imaginable, one designed not to imprison you, but to facilitate your growth through experience. The matrix you inhabit is a magnificent collection of beliefs, societal agreements, and energy patterns that creates what you experience as physical reality. It includes your concepts of time, space, separation, and limitation. It's the framework that transforms infinite possibility into specific experiences, much like how a video game console transforms pure electrical energy into a structured game environment. The matrix serves as a cosmic classroom, creating the perfect conditions for consciousness to explore itself through limitation. Just as a novelist needs the limitations of grammar and structure to craft a compelling story, source energy uses the matrix to craft rich, meaningful experiences. Without these temporary boundaries, we would remain in a state of undifferentiated awareness, beautiful but unable to experience the exquisite dance of duality, relationship, and growth. Consider how a child learns through play. When children immerse themselves in make-believe, they're not being deceived. They're willingly entering an imaginary framework that allows them to explore, learn, and grow. Similarly, our souls choose to enter the matrix, not because we're trapped, but because it offers unique opportunities for expansion that aren't possible in non-physical reality. The illusion serves spiritual growth in numerous ways. Through the experience of separation, we learn the true nature of unity. Through limitation, we discover our infinite potential. Through forgetting our true nature, we get to experience the joy of remembering. These aren't mistakes in the system. They are features, carefully designed aspects of the spiritual journey. Yet, like any powerful tool, the matrix can become a cage if we mistake it for ultimate reality. Common attachments within the matrix reveal themselves in various ways. We become attached to specific outcomes, believing our happiness depends on external circumstances. We identify completely with our physical bodies, forgetting that they're vessels for consciousness rather than the totality of who we are. We chase security through accumulation, mistaking temporary possessions for permanent fulfillment. These matrix-based limitations show up as recurring patterns in our lives. We might find ourselves believing that time is running out, or fearing death as an ending rather than a transition, defining ourselves through roles, achievements, or possessions, seeking validation from others instead of recognizing our own inherent worth, believing in scarcity despite living in an abundant universe, or viewing ourselves as powerless victims of circumstance. The matrix maintains its grip through these limiting beliefs, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of perceived separation from our true nature. Yet these very limitations also serve as catalysts for awakening when we learn to recognize them for what they are. The shift from matrix-based thinking to source awareness is like moving from a two-dimensional to a three-dimensional perspective. Matrix consciousness sees life as a series of separate events happening to us. Source awareness recognizes life as a unified field of experience flowing through us. Where matrix thinking sees problems to solve, Source awareness sees opportunities for expansion. Signs of source awareness emerging in your consciousness include recognizing synchronicities as normal rather than exceptional, feeling deeply connected to all life rather than separate from it, experiencing time as fluid rather than linear, viewing challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles, finding peace independent of external circumstances, sensing the underlying unity beneath apparent diversity, or trusting in the perfect unfolding of life. This awakening to source awareness doesn't happen all at once. Like eyes adjusting to light after darkness, our consciousness gradually adapts to perceiving beyond the matrix. We begin to see the scaffolding of reality, how our thoughts, beliefs, and expectations shape our experience. We notice how the matrix responds to our consciousness rather than existing independently of it. The key to navigating the matrix consciously lies in maintaining a dual awareness. We continue to play within its framework while remembering it's not ultimate reality, like a lucid dreamer who can participate in the dream while knowing they are dreaming. We can fully engage with physical reality while maintaining awareness of our larger reality. This unveiling of the matrix doesn't make life less meaningful, it makes it more so. When you recognize the matrix as a creative canvas rather than a prison, you can begin to paint with the full palette of consciousness. You remain in the world but are no longer entirely of it, free to create while remembering your true identity as the creator. Understanding the matrix in this way transforms your relationship with it. Instead of fighting against limitations, you use them as tools for growth. Instead of trying to escape the physical realm, you learn to navigate it consciously. You begin to appreciate the exquisite design of this reality system, even as you remember that you are more than its temporary expression. The matrix unveiled becomes not something to transcend, but something to master, not through control or resistance, but through understanding and conscious participation. In seeing it clearly, you can use it as it was intended, as a divine playground for expansion of consciousness itself. The journey of manifestation begins where most people expect, with the desire for physical objects, better circumstances, and material comfort. There's nothing wrong with these desires. They're natural starting points in your evolutionary journey. However, as we deepen our understanding of manifestation, we discover that physical objects are merely the surface ripples of a much deeper creative process. Think of physical manifestation as learning to play scales on a piano. It's necessary, foundational work, but it's not the symphony. The true art of manifestation extends far beyond the material realm into increasingly subtle and profound dimensions of experience. As you evolve spiritually, your desires naturally shift from having to being, from accumulation to expansion, from temporary satisfaction to eternal fulfillment. This evolution doesn't mean you must reject material existence or adopt an austere lifestyle. Rather, it means understanding material manifestations as symbols and expressions of deeper spiritual truths. The new car you desire might represent freedom. The dream home might symbolize security and self-expression. The successful career might reflect your desire to contribute meaningfully to the world. As you recognize these deeper meanings, you can choose to manifest either the symbol or the essence, or both, with the clear awareness of which is which. The manifestation process follows a natural hierarchy ascending from the dense physical realm toward increasingly subtle levels of creation. At the foundation lies the physical realm, the world of objects, circumstances, and tangible results. This level is where most people begin their manifestation journey, learning to align their energy with desired physical outcomes. That's what we learned from The Secret. It's concrete, measurable, and provides clear feedback about your manifesting abilities. Moving up the hierarchy, you encounter the realm of relationships and connections. Here, manifestation becomes more sophisticated as you learn to attract and create meaningful connections with others. This level teaches you about energy exchange, resonance, and the delicate dance of giving and receiving. Unlike physical objects, relationships can't be possessed, they must be continuously co-created. This level begins to stretch your understanding of manifestation beyond the material realm. The next level encompasses experiences and states of being. Here, you learn to manifest specific qualities of experience: joy, peace, adventure, creativity. These manifestations are less tangible, but more fulfilling than physical acquisitions. You can't hold joy in your hands or store peace in a bank account, yet these states of being bring far more satisfaction than material possessions. At this level, you begin to understand that what you're really seeking isn't the external circumstance, but the internal experience it promises. At the pinnacle of the hierarchy lies spiritual awareness and expanded consciousness. This is where manifestation becomes most subtle and most powerful. Instead of creating specific outcomes, you manifest expanded states of awareness, deeper spiritual connections, and direct experiences of your true nature as source energy. This changes everything. These manifestations don't depend on external circumstances. They arise from within as natural expressions of your evolving consciousness. What makes this hierarchy particularly fascinating is how each level contains and transcends the ones below it. As you ascend to higher levels of manifestation, you don't lose the ability to create at lower levels, you simply gain new perspective on them. Someone operating primarily at the level of spiritual awareness can still manifest physical objects, but they do so with the full awareness of their temporary nature and without attachment to outcomes. Understanding the temporary nature of physical manifestations is crucial for your spiritual evolution. Everything in the physical realm is in constant flux. The new car eventually becomes an old car. The dream home requires maintenance. The successful career evolves or concludes. This impermanence is not a flaw in the system. It's an intentional design feature that pushes us to seek more lasting forms of fulfillment. This temporary nature of physical manifestation serves several spiritual purposes. First, it prevents you from becoming too attached to specific forms, encouraging you to seek the unchanging awareness behind changing circumstances. Second, it keeps you in a state of creative flow, constantly engaging with new desires and possibilities. Finally, it reminds you that true fulfillment comes not from what we possess, but from who you become through the creative process. As you evolve in your understanding of manifestation, you begin to see that the true art isn't in getting what you want, it's in aligning your wants with your highest potential for expansion. You learn to desire what serves your spiritual evolution rather than what temporarily satisfies your ego. Your manifestations become expressions of your expanding consciousness rather than attempts to fill perceived lacks or voids. This broader view of manifestation opens up exciting possibilities. Instead of just manifesting a peaceful home environment, you can manifest deeper peace within yourself that transforms any environment that you enter. Rather than manifesting specific relationships or specific persons, you can manifest a state of such complete self-love that fulfilling relationships naturally gravitate towards you. Instead of manifesting success in the world, you can manifest a state of such alignment with Source that everything you touch becomes successful. The most powerful manifestations often happen when you release your attachment to specific forms and open yourself to the infinite possibilities available in each moment. This doesn't mean becoming passive or abandoning your desires. Rather, it means holding your desires lightly, remaining open to how they might manifest in ways you have not imagined. Remember, the ultimate purpose of manifestation is not to accumulate experiences or possessions. It's to know yourself more fully as source energy expressing itself in form. Each manifestation, whether physical or spiritual, serves as a mirror, reflecting back to you your own creative essence. As you graduate from manifesting things to manifesting states of being, you move closer to experiencing your true nature as infinite creative consciousness. The journey beyond physical manifestation leads you to a profound truth. The greatest thing that you can manifest is your own awakening. Everything else, all the objects, relationships, experiences, and states of being, are simply stepping stones on this grand adventure of consciousness, knowing itself through form. When you speak of manifesting higher states of consciousness, you're entering territory that transcends conventional manifestation practice. Unlike manifesting physical objects or circumstances, higher states aren't something that you create. They're aspects of your true nature that you allow yourself to experience more fully. The process is less about attaining something new and more about removing the barriers that prevent you from experiencing what's already present. Bliss consciousness represents one of the most profound states available to you. Unlike temporary happiness that depends on external circumstances, bliss arises from recognizing your true nature as source energy. To manifest bliss consciousness, begin by releasing the belief that joy must come from outside of yourself. Sit in quiet awareness, allowing your attention to rest in the pure consciousness that witnesses all experience. Notice how this witnessing awareness itself is inherently peaceful, naturally joyful. As you practice this regularly, you'll find that bliss isn't something that comes and goes. It's your natural state when you're not resisting the present moment. The experience of oneness requires a fundamental shift in perception. We are conditioned to see ourselves as separate entities moving through a world of other separate things and beings. To manifest states of oneness, practice recognizing the artificial nature of these boundaries. When you look at a tree, instead of seeing it as something separate from you, experience how both you and the tree are expressions of the same living consciousness. In conversations, notice how thoughts and words flow between people like waves in a single ocean of awareness. These aren't just poetic metaphors. They're direct perceptions of reality available when you release your attachment to separation. Infinite love represents the most transformative state that you can manifest. Unlike personal love that flows between separate individuals, infinite love is the recognition of your own nature as love itself. Begin by observing how love feels in your body, not when directed toward a specific person or thing, but love as a pure energy. Allow this feeling to expand beyond its usual boundaries. Notice how love naturally wants to grow, to include more, to dissolve the barriers between lover and beloved. As this expansion continues, you may discover that love isn't something that you do or feel. It is what you are. Expanded awareness comes through recognizing the consciousness is not confined to your personal thoughts and experiences. Practice expanding your attention beyond its usual focus. Notice how awareness itself has no boundaries. It's thoughts and sensations that create the illusion of limits. In deep meditation, you might experience moments where your consciousness seems to expand infinitely in all directions. These aren't hallucinations or imagination. They are glimpses of your true nature as unlimited awareness. What makes these higher states particularly fascinating is their self-upgrading nature. Unlike physical experiences that can become routine or monotonous, spiritual experiences continuously evolve and deepen. The bliss you experience today is not identical to yesterday's bliss. It's fresh, new, carrying different qualities and insights. This self-upgrading nature reflects the infinite potential inherent in consciousness itself. Consider how this works. Each time you enter a higher state of consciousness, you bring with you the wisdom and awareness gained from previous experiences. This creates a spiral of ever-deepening understanding. The state of oneness you experience after years of spiritual practice isn't better than your first glimpse of unity, but it contains layers of subtlety and comprehension that weren't available earlier. It's like listening to a complex piece of music. Each time you hear it, you notice new harmonies and depths. This self-upgrading quality becomes particularly apparent when we compare physical and non-physical manifestations. Physical manifestations, once achieved, begin a process of entropy. The new car starts depreciating the moment you drive it off the lot. The dream house requires constant maintenance. The perfect relationship needs continuous nurturing to remain vital. In contrast, spiritual manifestations grow richer and more profound with time and attention. Physical manifestations operate within the realm of duality, having versus not having, achieving versus failing, gaining versus losing. Non-physical manifestations transcend these opposites. You don't achieve bliss consciousness. You recognize it as already present. You don't create infinite love. You allow yourself to experience what has always been true. You don't reach expanded awareness. You remove the beliefs that made awareness appear limited in the first place. This fundamental difference changes how you approach the manifestation process. Instead of striving to add something to yourself, you focus on removing the obstacles to experience your true nature. Instead of trying to reach higher states, you learn to relax into them. Instead of seeking experiences outside yourself, you discover the infinite variety available within your own consciousness. The practice of manifesting higher states ultimately reveals itself as a process of remembering rather than achieving. Each expanded state you experience isn't really new. It's a recognition of what you've always been beneath the layers of conditioning and forgetting. This remembering carries a quality of familiarity, as though you're returning home to a truth that you've always known. One of the greatest paradoxes on the spiritual path is learning to transcend the physical world while remaining fully engaged within it. Many seekers fall into the trap of believing that spiritual advancement requires withdrawing from worldly life, rejecting material existence, or maintaining a perpetual state of otherworldly bliss. Yet the true mastery lies in bridging both realms, remaining grounded in physical reality while maintaining conscious connections with your infinite nature. Think of yourself as a tree. Your roots grow deep into the earth, providing stability and nourishment, while your branches reach toward the sky, touching the infinite. You aren't meant to choose between being rooted or reaching skyward. Your purpose is to connect both realms. This is the art of transcending while maintaining simultaneous awareness of both your physical existence and your infinite nature. Liberation is not a destination. It's an ongoing process of awakening from self-imposed limitations and expanding into greater awareness of your true nature. This process doesn't happen in a single dramatic moment of enlightenment, but through a series of recognitions, releases, and expansions that gradually transform your entire way of being in the world. The first step in this process is learning to identify your self-imposed limitations. These limitations are like invisible walls you built around your consciousness, so familiar that you've forgotten they're there. They show up as the voice that says, "I can't, I'm not ready, that's impossible," or "that's just how things are." These limitations aren't facts about reality. They're beliefs we've absorbed from our environment and experiences within the matrix. Pay attention to your internal dialogue. Notice when you automatically dismiss possibilities or restrict your choices. Watch for recurring patterns in your life, situations where you feel stuck or powerless. These patterns often point to deeper limiting beliefs. For example, if you consistently struggle with abundance, you might hold unconscious beliefs about scarcity or unworthiness. If relationships are challenging, you might carry hidden beliefs about love or being conditional or dangerous. These limitations don't just affect your external circumstances, they shape your very perception of what's possible. Like wearing tinted glasses, they color everything that you see without you realizing it. The matrix reinforces these limitations through collective agreements about what's realistic or practical. What you call realistic is often just a set of assumptions that you've never questioned. Breaking free from matrix-based thinking requires developing new tools and perspectives. One tool is practicing questioning everything. When you encounter a limitation, ask yourself, is this really true? How do I know it's true? What if the opposite were true? What would be possible if this limitation did not exist? These questions begin to dissolve the seeming solidity of your mental constructs. This liberation is not about escaping the matrix, it is about seeing through its apparent solidity while continuing to play within it consciously. You're not trying to get somewhere else or become someone different. You're simply allowing yourself to recognize and experience the freedom that's already present as your true nature. The ultimate liberation comes not from changing anything about your experience, but from recognizing that you are the unchanging awareness in which all experiences arise. This recognition doesn't make limitations disappear, but it transforms your relationship with them. You become like a skilled actor who can fully embrace their role while remembering it's all a divine play. One thing we must talk about is multidimensional manifestation. This represents the most advanced level of conscious creation, where you learn to operate simultaneously across multiple levels of reality. Unlike traditional manifestation techniques that focus solely on bringing desired outcomes into physical form, multidimensional manifestation works with the entire spectrum of consciousness, from pure potential to manifest reality. At this level of creation, you recognize yourself as both the creator and the experience of creation. Think of how a dream works. You are simultaneously the dreamer, creating the dream, and the dream itself, every character within it. Similarly, in conscious manifestation, you are the source of the creative impulse, the energy taking form, and the awareness experiencing the manifestation. This recognition fundamentally transforms how you approach the creative process. The simultaneity of creation and experience is not just a philosophical concept, it's a practical reality that becomes apparent as you deepen your awareness. Consider how this works in practice. When you desire to manifest something, whether it's a new relationship, a creative project, or a state of consciousness, you're not reaching for something outside yourself. You're allowing a particular aspect of your infinite potential to come into focus in your awareness. The desire itself is the universe beginning to manifest through you. Working with energy rather than form marks another crucial shift in multidimensional manifestation. Instead of focusing on specific outcomes, you learn to work with the underlying energetic qualities you wish to experience. Rather than visualizing a particular house, for example, you might work with the energy of security, creativity, and peace that you associate with your ideal home. This approach allows for much greater flexibility in how the manifestations take place. Energy work begins with developing sensitivity to subtle variations. Practice feeling the energy of different thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Notice how certain qualities of love, joy, abundance, or freedom have a distinct energetic signature. As you become more attuned to these energies, you can learn to hold and amplify them regardless of external circumstances. The key to working with energy is understanding that form follows frequency. Whatever energy you identify consistently holding in your consciousness will eventually manifest in your experience. This isn't about forcing or controlling, it's about becoming a clear channel for specific qualities of consciousness to express through you. The final step to breaking from the matrix and learning to truly manifest is living as source. This represents the ultimate integration of your understanding spiritually into everyday life. This isn't about achieving some permanent elevated state or transcending human experience. It's about allowing your true nature as source energy to express itself naturally through all aspects of your life. It's about remembering what you are while fully embracing the human journey. Maintaining expanded awareness in daily life requires a fundamental shift in how you relate to ordinary experience. Instead of moving through your day as a separate self, performing various actions, recognize that you are the awareness in which all activities occur. The person driving to work, preparing meals, attending meetings, or having conversations is a character in consciousness, while you are the consciousness itself. The shift doesn't make you less effective in practical matters, quite the opposite. When you operate from expanded awareness, you bring greater presence and clarity to everything that you do. Simple tasks become opportunities for conscious participation in the flow of life. Even mundane activities take on a sacred quality when experienced from the perspective of source consciousness. Practice maintaining this expanded awareness during routine activities while brushing your teeth. Notice you are the awareness in which the sensation of brushing occurs. During conversations, recognize that you are the space in which both speech and listening happen. While working, observe that you are the consciousness in which all thoughts and actions arise. Creating from a state of oneness transforms the manifestation process entirely. Instead of trying to make things happen from a place of separate self, you allow creation to flow through you naturally. This isn't about surrendering your individual perspective, but about accessing the infinite creative potential of source consciousness. When creating from oneness, you recognize that every impulse to create comes from source itself. Your desire is not personal, but wants the universe to seek to express new possibilities through your unique form. This understanding removes the struggle from creation. You're not trying to impose your will on reality, but allowing universal intelligence to flow through you, because that is what you are. The creative process becomes more like listening than forcing. Before taking action, tune into the deeper currents of creative energy moving through your consciousness. What wants to emerge? What is consciousness trying to express through this particular situation? What serves the highest evolution of all involved? Navigating relationships from higher consciousness revolutionizes how you interact with others. When you recognize yourself as source, you see others as different expressions of the same source consciousness. This doesn't mean overlooking individual differences or avoiding healthy boundaries. Rather, it means relating to others from a place of fundamental unity while honoring the beautiful diversity of expression. This perspective transforms all relationships. Contributing to the collective evolution becomes natural expression of living as source. You recognize that your personal evolution isn't separate from the evolution of the whole. Every shift in your consciousness affects the collective field. Every act of awakening creates ripples through the entire matrix of reality. This contribution happens on multiple levels. Through your presence, simply maintaining expanded awareness affects the collective field, making higher states of consciousness more accessible to others. Through your actions, when you operate from source awareness, your actions naturally align with the highest good of all, contributing to positive collective transformation. Through your relationships, each conscious interaction creates a field of possibility for others to experience higher awareness. And through your creations, work done from source consciousness carries a frequency that helps awaken others to their true nature. Remember that living as source doesn't mean perfection or constant bliss. It means embracing all experiences, pleasant and unpleasant, expansive and contractive, as expressions of infinite consciousness exploring itself through form. It means remaining open to the full spectrum of human experience while maintaining awareness of your true nature. This way of living requires both a radical acceptance and continuous evolution. You accept everything as it is, recognizing it all as source in expression, while remaining open to even greater possibilities for expansion and awareness. Let your life become a living expression of source consciousness, exploring, creating, and evolving through your unique form. Trust that by simply being what you are, you contribute perfectly to the evolution of the whole. The journey of living as source never ends. It continuously unfolds into greater expressions of truth, love, and conscious creation. Each moment offers a fresh opportunity to remember, to awaken, to create, and to evolve as the infinite consciousness that you are. The path of continuous expansion stretches eternally before you, not as a burden, but as an exciting adventure in consciousness. Each moment offers fresh opportunities to know yourself more fully as source energy in expression. There is no final destination, no ultimate achievement that marks the end of growth. The joy lies in the eternal unfoldment of consciousness exploring itself through ever new forms of expression. Think of how a flower doesn't struggle to grow. It simply responds naturally to light, reaching ever upward while remaining deeply rooted. Similarly, your spiritual evolution doesn't require forcing or striving. It happens naturally as you allow yourself to be drawn by the light of higher consciousness while remaining grounded in present awareness. Living simultaneously as creator and creation is perhaps the most beautiful paradox of existence. You are both the artist painting reality and the canvas upon which it is painted, both the musician playing the cosmic symphony and the music itself. This dual nature is not a contradiction to be resolved, but a mystery to be lived. As the creator, you hold the power to shape reality through conscious intention and aligned action. As creation, you experience the joy of discovering yourself in ever new ways through what you create. These roles come together in perfect harmony, each enhancing and enriching the other. This dance isn't something that you need to learn, it is what you are. The only question is whether you dance consciously or unconsciously. Moving forward in freedom and awareness doesn't mean leaving your human experience behind. It means bringing the light of consciousness more fully into every aspect of your life. Let your relationships be illuminated by the recognition of shared source essence. Let your work become an expression of conscious creativity. Let your challenges become opportunities for deeper awakening. Remember, you are already what you seek to become. The path of awakening isn't about achieving something new, but recognizing what has always been true. Every experience serves your evolution. There are no wrong turns on an infinite journey. There are only opportunities for greater awareness. The matrix is not your enemy. It's your playground for conscious creation. Use it wisely, play within it joyfully, create through it purposefully. Your individual awakening serves the whole. As you remember your true nature, you make it easier for others to remember theirs. The journey never ends because consciousness is infinite in its potential for expression. Each summit reached reveals new horizons to explore. Let your life become a living testament to the truth of who you are. Let your presence remind others of their own divine nature. Let your creations carry the frequency of source consciousness into the world. Move forward with both courage and humility. Courage to embrace your true nature as source energy, and humility to remain open to ever newer expressions of truth. Let each day be a fresh opportunity to know yourself more fully, to create more consciously, to love more deeply, to live more freely. The infinite journey continues. The eternal dance goes on, and as both dancer and dance, creator and creation, individual and infinite, play your perfect part in the endless expansion of consciousness knowing itself through form. Welcome to the beginning of your next level of awakening. The journey is infinite, and it starts now in this moment, as you choose once again to remember what you truly are. Welcome to the reality revolution.